The return of Idun. The attitude of the gods now became very menacing, and it was clear to Loki that if he did not devise means to restore the goddess, and that soon his life would be in considerable danger. He assured the indignant gods, therefore, that he would leave no stone unturned in his efforts to secure the release of Idun, and, borrowing Freya's falcon plumage, he flew off to Thrymheim, where he found Idun alone, sadly mourning her exile from Asgard and her beloved Bragi. Changing the fair goddess into a nut according to some accounts, or according to others into a swallow, Loki grasped her tightly between his claws, and then rapidly retracted his way to Asgard, hoping that he would reach the shelter of its high walls ere Thiassi returned from a fishing excursion in the northern seas to which he had gone. Meantime, the gods had assembled on the ramparts of the heavenly city, and they were watching for the return of Loki with far more anxiety than they had felt for Odin when he had went in search of od-hroerir. Remembering the success of their ruse on that occasion, they had gathered great piles of fuel, which they were ready to set on fire at any moment. Suddenly, they saw Loki coming, but descried in his wake a great eagle. This was the giant Thiassi, who had suddenly returned to Thrymheim, and found that his captive had been carried off by a falcon, in whom he readily recognized as one of the gods. Hastily donning his eagle plumes, he had given immediate chase, and was rapidly overtaking his prey. Loki redoubled his efforts as he neared the walls of Asgard, and ere Thiassi overtook him, he reached the goal and sank exhausted in the midst of the gods. Not a moment was lost in setting fire to the accumulated fuel, and as the pursuing Thiassi passed over the walls in his turn, the flames and smoke brought him to the ground, crippled and half-stunned, an easy prey to the gods, who fell ruthlessly upon him and slew him. The Aesir were overjoyed at the recovery of Idun, and they hastened to partake of the precious apples, which she had brought safely back. Feeling the return of their wonted strength and good looks, with every mouthful they ate, they good-naturedly declared that it was no wonder if even the giants longed to taste the apples of perpetual youth. They vowed, therefore, that they would place Thiassi's eyes as a constellation in the heavens, in order to soften any feeling of anger which his kinsmen might experience upon hearing that he had been slain. Up I cast the eyes of Alvaldi's son into the heavens serene. They are signs the greatest of my deeds. Lay of Harbord, Thrope's translation. So that was The Return of Idun, the third section of Chapter 7 of Myths of the Norsemen by Helene A Guerber, Idun. I will be working my way through this book section by section, and if there are any other public domain books that you would like for me to read, please leave a comment below. Did you enjoy this video? Then subscribe for more, and be sure to check me out on Facebook and Patreon. Thank you for listening, and have a lovely evening.